Hello and welcome to the theElpyDimension. I am your guide, Elpy, and this is mixed worm bin number 3. Today is the 12th of February 2025, and it's been 10 days since we were in here on the 2nd of February 2025. I just came from bin number 2, and that video will be posted by the time you see this one, and I highly recommend you check that out. Okay. There's a little guy on the bubble mailer. Oh, there's a wisp. All right, cool. And wait, where'd it go? A cocoon. Cool. So the worms are, and so are the fruit flies. That is a fruit fly. No more fruit fly cocoon. All right. So this population is one of my smallest. And it is definitely small with regard to the age of this bin. This is an older bin. Is that a blue worm? I haven't seen one in a while. I don't think so. It's got a yellow tip. Not just yellow on the tail, but a yellow tip. So, yeah, they're a smaller population because I don't know why, but there was a mass die-off last year. There was also one in bin number 4, but bin number 4's population exploded, especially after I gave them a massive load of food. But these guys have been slower to recover, and I often wonder if I should give them a massive load of food, but maybe I will sooner than later. Okay. Let's dive in. Oh, and they are still part of the Time for Pie series. So last time was 42. So this would be day 52. And this is where we fed that pie. Now, it's not... That's a healthy looking worm. Look at that guy. Hey! It's not that the worms are the only ones eating the pie, but it's the bin. And... You know, as far as experiments go, that wasn't really an experiment. I mean, it was, but it wasn't a well-conducted one because I continued to feed some of the bins other food. You know, they didn't only get pie, for one. And I also fed them beyond that. So, it's just a little disclaimer. But it's just been interesting. 1 and 2 are done, and so is 3. So at this point, it's just, this is actually a persimmons, or passion fruit. Got really crispy. I did freeze it. So blue and 3, this bin, are the only ones that had pie 10 days ago. So, I'm wondering how deep I buried it, because... I'm surprised I haven't encountered... Okay, well, there's worms down here. I would actually honestly be surprised if the pie was gone. I mean, it's been a long time, but this is a rather slow-moving bin, but we'll see. I'm spending more time looking for the pie than I am at the worms. I'm not even looking at the camera. Just wait. This is part of the pie. So there's still pie in here. Not much, but it'll be hard to find in pieces like that next time. This is also the bin that about a month ago had finally recovered from me putting too much water in it. But the worms look good. Quite a few over here. Again, smaller population. I really gotta remember that, because I go 1, 2, and then 3 when I'm doing my check-ins. Cocoon. And so I go from 2 really large populations to this population, and it feels like, oh, they're so small. But they still look good. They're still a good population. Okay. Let's go ahead and push all this stuff back over. This stuff was kind of more of our bedding. Okay, then I fed over here on the 17th, I think it was. Sorry, I didn't check my notes beforehand. I fed a bunch of persimmons over here. Persimmons and passion fruit. I'm hearing the crunch of the passion fruit skin, but I'm not seeing the telltale bright orangeness of the persimmons. So it is possible. See that? That's our onion. This will be day 21 for the onion. I was in the Urban Gardeners. No, sorry. AJ Green Topics did a live probably a month ago. And someone in the chat asked about feeding their worms onions and said their worms didn't like onions. And it is my belief, I guess that feeding's gone. It is my belief that it's not so much that they don't like them, it's the stage that the onions are in. So to prove my point, I gave them a basically completely intact onion in that it was only just starting to get mold on the outside of it. It was part of that food donation we got. Now where I messed up in terms of my experiment is in putting any other food there, which was this moldy apple and a moldy pear that, yeah, I don't know if you could even call it a pear. It was so mush. But what we're going to do is we're going to take the apple away. And the reason I say it's not good on part of the experiment is because I want to show the worms. I want to see when the worms become interested. Oh, shoot. Forgot I came down. My plan when I came down here, I have 6 bins now, was to do half the bins and then go upstairs and charge some more because I knew my battery wouldn't make it through all 6, but I got a little overexcited in bin 2. So, all right, and we're gonna, here's our bin, our onion. Last time we saw that it was starting to sprout. It's been produced some roots. There are worms around there, not many at all. This onion is very much intact. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and feed them. We won't be able, well, you might be able to see. Here's the apple, just to show you that I'm not putting that back down there. Okay. Man, I totally forgot. I spent way longer in the first 2 bins than I intended to, so I was like, yeah, I'll be able to get through the first 3 bins without charging, no problem. Not if you take forever. Yeah, but it was fun, let me tell you. Let's just peek in here real quick. We see worms. I know it's dark. This was where I fed 10 days ago. This paper smells like moldy paper, mildewy paper. So it's not that wet. What did I feed? That smells sour. Obviously persimmons. Remember we gave them a whole bunch of, oh yeah. And there was the beverage holder from the bird cage. I'm not seeing any worm parties, but how much can we really see, right? Not much. I see there's a baby worm, but I'm not scooping anybody up here. Oh, there we go. So they're way down under there. I'm going to put this paper back down. Given the status of that paper and it not being very moist, which is definitely not going to encourage the worms. I'm going to feed them in this paper instead of, I wouldn't normally feed in the same spot, but we are going to. So, I know we'll be done with the persimmons. Well, not quite yet, but those were frozen. They're still pretty cold. These guys are going to get a bunch of moldy, once frozen okra. They stink pretty bad. Let's see. I think that's all I'll give them. Yeah, actually, I might take a couple out for our blues. All right. Maybe since I'm thinking about it, a little bit of dry mix, and we are going to give just one. I don't want to, well, I guess we will do little scoops of these of water. We'll put some more paper. There's our apple. Okay. Okay. Well, that's it for bin number 3. Sorry, this was not exciting at all, but tune in next time. I'm sure it will be. I've never had okra like that to feed them, and we'll keep an eye on this onion. I know seeing it sprout makes me, but nope, it's part of an experiment. All right, but I think these guys are doing good. What do you think? Stay tuned. Bins 1 and 2 for this week are posted and awesome, especially number 2. Number 2 is, yes, awesome. And next, after I get some charge, I'm moving to bin number 4, and then the blue worm bin, and then the new Canadian nightcrawler bin. Those 3 were checked in on the 4th. So assuming I still get to them tonight, it will have been 8 days since I checked in on them. Should be interesting. All right. Thank you so much for your time and your interest. I'm really sorry about the light and that we weren't able to really do a deeper dive. I promise you next time we'll get into this bin more. Thank you so much for your time and your interest. Be safe. Be well. Bye for now.